So under your first, build your first automation with StudioX, after you get to the second part where it says getting to know StudioX, you have your first automation that you're going to be doing. And it's about unicorn name. It's a very small automation that we're going to do. And I'm using Microsoft Office. So you just pick one or the other. I've picked Microsoft Office. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to open up StudioX. And so I have StudioX opened up here. And so if you are on Studio and you want to switch it over to StudioX, remember you go to Settings, License and Profile, Change Profile, and you can switch between Studio and StudioX. So we're in StudioX. If you are in Studio, switch over to StudioX. It will actually shut down and then start back up. And you can always pause this video. So I'm in StudioX already. I'm going to then go into Tools, and I want to install some extensions. So I already have the extensions installed, but if you look through the video that is on here, if you use this video, it's actually going to give you more information. So I suggest looking at that video first, and then using this video to kind of help you with that unicorn bot. So in here, it's going to tell you how to do some of these extensions. So the first you want to do is do a Chrome extension. So once you do that, it's actually going to ask you to shut down any Chromes that you have. I already have the extensions. You want to actually hit yes. So when you hit yes, it's going to ask you to shut down all of your Chrome applications, and it's going to install the extension. Once you do that, mine is already installed. You're going to actually open up Chrome, and it's going to actually verify that you have it. So you want to check that you have UiPath extension. It's going to ask you to accept it once you open up Chrome. After you've got that extension in, you want to also do the Excel add-in. So I've already done this. You want to click on add-in. It's going to close all of your workbooks. And so you would hit OK. It would shut down Excel, and it would add your Excel add-in to UiPath. Once again, I've already done this, so I'm just going to hit no. You're going to hit OK and install the extension for UiPath. Once you've done both of those things, you then go into the Start, and you're going to click on a blank task. When you click on a blank task, you're going to add in the name of your process. You can do unicorn name example. And then you can do here a description, whatever description you would like. Your first automation using unicorn name. And then you would hit create. While you're doing that, it will actually open up to a blank project like this. The video that you have on UiPath Academy will actually tell you more about this space, this workspace, and what these activities are. You have 3 tabs here: Properties, Data Manager, Object Repository. But these are all your different activities. You can actually search for various things. But these are things that you're going to use to drag and drop. And so these are kind of categorized. And these are little codes, groups of codes that are already done. And you just drag them into your space to actually use. So we'll be using these today. Before we get started, there's a few things that we want to do. So first, on this UiPath Academy, I want you to download this unicorn name. When you download it, I want you to save it to the folder right here. You'll see that under your documents, you'll have a folder called UiPath. Under there, you should have the name of your file. Unicorn name example. I want you to save that unicorn name Excel file into that folder. So I've done that. This is my unicorn name example, and I've just copied or saved unicorn name Excel file there. So that's the first thing. Second thing you want to do is you want to open up unicorn name Excel file. And so you have unicorn name Excel file like so. The next thing you want to do is you want to go to a Chrome site, and you want to copy in this website right here. So https www.rpaexamples.com, find unicorns. You can just click on this as well. If you click on it, it's going to open up to a new tab. So you want to click on that and you want to keep this open. Okay, so we need to have the Excel file open as well as this Chrome here. Okay. The next thing you want to do is also have a your Gmail opened up as well, to whatever Gmail you're going to use. In this unicorn one, they use an Outlook. I used an old Gmail account that I use for this kind of purposes. So you should have three things open. One is your Excel file. You should have the Find Unicorn name open, and then you should have your Gmail account opened up. So here we are on our main page, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use application browser. And so we're going to take this activity and then we're going to drag it into our section right here. And so what this is saying is this is a little piece of code that was written that says we're going to use a browser. And so it's going to say right here, indicate application to automate. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that. And when we do that, it's going to say, so when you click on indicate, make sure that your unicorn name is available because it's going to want to look for that. So we're here in I use application browser, indicate the application you would like to automate. When it does that, it should pop up to your Find Unicorn name that's on Google. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on this RPA samples. I'm going to click on that, and it's going to say browser URL. So it's going to have a little picture of the Chrome, and it's also going to have the name automatically populated. So what it's saying is the first thing this automated bot is going to do is it's going to use this browser Chrome, and it's going to go to this website. Well, now what do we want them to do on this website? So typically what we're going to want to do is we want to enter in a name and a month, and then it would get us a unicorn name. Well, where are we going to get this name and this month from? For this Excel file has the name and the month. So imagine this only has one row, but you can have multiple rows. You can have a huge Excel file in which you have to send things or enter things into a website. And so we just have one. So it's going to put the name David here automatically into this. It's going to type it in itself. It's going to select the month July, and it's going to get a unicorn name. And then eventually it's going to email that to someone. Okay, so that's what our bot's going to do. So we've got that browser. So what's the next thing we want to do? So we want to use the Excel file. So we're going to drop that in here. And so we're going to look for this Excel file, and it's saying, well, where's our Excel file? So we don't know. So I want to browse for it. So we're going to go and look for that. And so it should pop up where you go, unicorn name example. And so here's my unicorn name. And so I'm going to click on that, and it's going to be identified here. Okay, so you should have unicorn name here. It's referenced as an Excel. And basically that's where the Excel file, we're going to, so now we have the Excel file, and so now we're going to look for type into, right? So we want to use this Excel file, and we want to use the things inside this Excel file to type into that browser. And so we're going to search for an activity called type into, and so you see it just popped up after I was searching for it. And so here's my type into, and I'm going to put that right here into this activity. So inside Excel file, it's going to type into. So it's saying indicate in the Chrome, find unicorn. So that's the website that we're in. It's saying type what? So what do we need to type into this website? So here first, we are going to have our Excel file indicate something. here. So you can see we can actually, indicate in Excel, or we can type in, have a text on what we want to indicate into the Chrome. But first, let's indicate in Chrome, where's the location we want it to be typed into. So if I click on this, you see this green thing that's coming up. So first I want them to type in this section where it says enter your name. So when I do that, it kind of anchors that. So it's going to be a target, okay? And so I'm going to hit confirm. And so now it's saying type into what is your name. And we're saying type this. So where do we want it to type from? So from the Excel file, and I'm going to indicate exactly in Excel file what to type in. So when I do that, so I'm going to look to see what are we going to type into. We're going to go here. We're going to go into Excel, indicate in Excel. And usually we'll open up, if you look for a new Excel file, it will UiPath will automatically open that up. And you have David, a column 1, row 2, and you have that highlighted with this green, and you want to confirm that is the cell that I want. And so it will automatically say, type this from Excel sheet 1A2. Okay, so that's what's going to be typed into where your name is. So they're going to type in what is your name. The next section that you need in this Find Unicorn is actually selecting. So here they're not typing, they're actually going to select what is here. So we want them to select July, right? So we're going to go back to our StudioX, and we're going to find the activity select item. And so we found it right here, and I'm going to drag that into right here. And so now I'm going to indicate in Chrome what I wanted to select, which was the month. And so I did the same thing. Once again, if I just delete this really quick, I'm selecting the item. I'm going to indicate in Chrome, Find Unicorn. I'm going to do select this month. So this is where they're going to enter the item in. When I click on it, it anchors. I'm going to then confirm. So in select item what month, that's what we're going to do. And it says item to select. So what do you want me to select? So I'm going to go back into Excel. I'm going to indicate in Excel that I want them to pick this. So column B, row 2, I want them to select this. So I confirm it. And so now it's going to select, item to select is July, and they're going to enter it into here. So the next thing we're going to need is on this thing, they have to actually click on Get Unicorn Name to actually get the unicorn name. So that's what we need to show in this studio. So we're going to find the item click. And so there's a little thing here that says click. It's an activity, an action item. And so we're going to put that right underneath here. And so now we want to indicate what do they want to click. So we're going to click on this indicate in Chrome. So we're going to click on this Get Unicorn Name. And that is our anchor. And we are going to hit confirm. And so it turns into an anchor, and that's pretty much it. And so it will click on it automatically. Let's do a quick run. So right up here, you'll see a button that says run. And so it's going to run and open up this web page, get this Excel file, put your name in, and let's see what happens. So it opened up the page. So let's run it, see what happens. It's putting in David automatically. And so it was able to, if I go to my website, it's going to have now a name identified. So it entered in David, it entered in the month, and now I got my unicorn name, energetic rain dot mist. Okay. So the next thing is to get the name that is here, energetic raindrop mist, and then send it in an email. And so it's going to send in an email. So we're going to get text. We're going to get text right here, and we're going to go right underneath this. And so we're going to indicate exactly what we need to get. So we're going to click on this unicorn, and we're actually going to get this energetic raindrop mist. And while it is a target, it's going to change all the time. And so we're going to anchor it. Okay. So we're going to anchor it to say this is your unicorn name. Okay. So every time we have to get your unicorn name, the anchor is going to always get this target right here. So we're going to confirm that. And so this is what we have here, and we're going to save it. So where do we want to save it to? We're going to save it for later use. So at a later time, we can use whatever text we've gotten. We're going to save it to an area. So what we're going to do is we're going to give a value to this item, and so we're going to call it unicorn name. I'm going to call it my unicorn name. And we're going to hit OK. So every time it gets that text, we're going to save it to an object called my unicorn name. And if you look under Data Manager, so you have Properties, Data Manager, now you have a saved value called my unicorn name, and that is the text coming from the Google. So now let's email that to ourselves. And so we're going to remove out where it says get text. And so all of the activities show up. You should see something that says use Gmail. There's also a use Outlook 365. So if you wanted to use that, you could. It doesn't really matter. But we don't need it under the browser or the Excel. It really needs to sit outside because it's an activity that's going to be outside both of these things. So I'm going to drag in use Gmail, and I'm going to put it outside these two. So you should have one which is Excel, this is your browser, and this is kind of that second thing that we're doing, which is this is step 1, and then this is kind of step 2, which is use Gmail account. So here you're going to, I already have my account set up. If you don't, you can just click on add a new account. And it will actually open up into your Gmail, and you just can add it in. I think you have to check on that you're allowed to so when you click on this, add a new account, you want to click on default and then hit OK. It will open up to something that says, do you want Gmail to have UiPath send emails and so forth. You want to click on both of those that says yes. So we click on those two items, and then so it will sign you in, pick which one you want. And when you do that, it's going to have these two. Do you want them to read? So you want UiPath to access it, to see it. So you're going to click these two on and then hit continue. So once it's received the verification, you can now close that window and then go back to here. So I'm going to have my fake email account reference as Gmail. So once you have that, you can kind of see there's this little thing to the left that says mail. And so what do you want to do? We actually want to send an email. So I'm going to take that action. I'm going to drop it right here inside of my use Gmail account. And so what's going to happen is it's going to actually send an email. So it's going to use that Gmail account. And it's saying, who do you want to send it to? And so you can send it to whoever you want. You can add a text here. So basically, you can find someone in Gmail, a selected account, or you can just click on text. And so you can send it to another email address that you have. It doesn't matter. I'm going to send it to myself here or to anything, and then hit save. And then you can have a subject line. So under subject line, hit this plus, and then put a text and say, my unicorn name, and hit save. And then your body, you want it to be HTML. And here you want to say, could it be saved as a draft or will it be sent? So we can do this as saved as a draft and it'll be saved in your draft inbox. Or if you uncheck this, it will actually send that email to this email address, and you can actually see it in your send folder. So either way is fine. I'm just going to leave it as a draft right now. But if you uncheck it, this email will actually be sent for real. So I'm going to send it like this. I'm sorry, we're going to change this body to text, not to HTML. And what we're going to do here is the text is actually going to be use saved value, and what we're going to send is my unicorn name. So we're sending this email. The subject is going to be my unicorn name. The body is going to have just my unicorn name there. And so that's that saved value we had from up here. And so this saved item is going to go into this object, my unicorn name, and my unicorn name object is what's going to be sent in a text. So it's actually going to be that name. So this is basically an email that so that's pretty much it. So let's run it and see if it works. So I put in David, it got it, and it came back to my studio. So it's done. It says last run successful. You can see it right here. So what I want to do is let's check. So I'm going to go into my SAP email and I'm going to go into my draft, and you can see my drafts are here, and there was a sent also that happened. So let me actually run it again. Instead of save draft, we'll have a sent. So here you can see it's in the draft. This is the one that was just done around 5:20. And this is the one that's going to my email. My subject was my unicorn name. And so it worked because that's what I want it to be, my unicorn name. So let's do it one more time. And this time I'm going to actually send it instead of having it in the draft. And so let's run it again. So here we have the name, David, July, get unicorn name. It got the unicorn name. And then it says last run successful. So I'm going to go to my SAP email and under sent, let's see. And there you go. Under sent, we have my unicorn name. So it was sent around 5:24. And so this was automatically sent. And this is that text, energetic raindrop mist. And so you guys can try it with other names and other months as well to see, but this is now complete, and you can just give me a screenshot of you doing this, and even you can send me a screenshot of what it was like in your email. And that's it for your first automation.